everybody. We are live now at Spokane's Bands Off Our Bodies rally. Excellent turnout today. I do say so myself. Look at all that pink, all these supporters out here. I will try to update you from time to time. Hello, Brian. Looks like they're getting ready to start. And if you're like confused, because we kept saying meet at the Red Wagon, there's an actual giant red wagon in Spokane. Ooh, I'm so sorry. I just accidentally hit a kid. He's okay. Hello, hello. How's the sound? Eventually, once they get rolling, I'm going to just set the tripod down. There's a big old turnout. A bunch of our friends are here. There's two of Spokane's biggest landmarks. Big I haven't seen a damn teacapper yet, just for the record. Not a single one of them. And hopefully I won't see any at all. Some great signs here today. I don't know if I could zoom. But it's a great turnout today. We got our good buddy Justice over here from SCAR doing the sound. Because wherever something's going on in Spokane, Justice will be there. A bunch of media here. Hey, what's up, Sentinel Justice? Hope you guys are all doing well. We're in Spokane at the Bands Off Our Bodies rally. Is the sound okay, everybody? Once in a while I'll pan the crowd to show you how many folks are here, but I don't want to stop, really, because, you know, privacy. Did anybody else go to a rally today at all? You know, I really wish that Patriot Church or some of the teacappers would have been here today, because of course I would be clowning them. I did have some choice words for some guy who was yelling at us as we were pulling in the parking lot, but other than that, I don't see many people against the cause. The guy in the coat there, that's Paul Dillon. He's one of the directors at our Planned Parenthood in Spokane. Happy to call him a friend. And you know what? You guys know I'm looking for the anti, so I think it's a pretty good sign that I don't see any. Great sign over there. Oh, they turned it. It's a good sign. I do believe we should abort the patriarchy. I think that would put us in a much better position in this world. The flag's at half-mast today. Anybody know why? I've been at work all day and then ran over here, so I may... Oh, there was a shooting today. Maybe that's why. Oh, this is my jam. Hopefully we get rolling here soon. And you can actually stand inside the wagon, which is pretty rad. We had a band up there earlier. Forget what they're called, but oh, the P-Jammers, a Spokane institution, the P-Jammers. I saw the Rage of Grannies here too. They're always a good time. So Planned Parenthood is the main sponsor today. SCAR Spokane, it's Spokane Community Against Racism is also out here. And you can even slide down the wagon.
Alright, everybody on live. Wave, wave.
Justice is live. Great turnout today. I'm impressed. City like Spokane, you never really know how many people are going to show. Anybody do any rallies today? Justice is rocking out to the song. People still rolling in. Sorry it hasn't started yet, but I don't control the timing today. Oh, you are definitely welcome. And thank you to anybody who may be watching as well, because the important thing right now is to be as loud as possible. And one thing we do at Stronger Together Spokane is we do get loud. And we're going to continue to be loud because that's kind of what we're known for. I think Justice likes this song. Oh, you moved. Not gonna lie, I rock out to this song at least once a week. Hey, somebody let Tom know I'm in front. He just messaged me wondering where I was. If you know Tom, you'll know what I mean. We need we're getting a go team huddle over here. So the guy in the code, I've already said this once, but I'll repeat myself, just deal with it. Paul is one of the directors at the Planned Parenthood here in Spokane. He's been super instrumental in getting this lawsuit filed against TCAP. I've worked closly with Paul over the last couple years because what TCAP does out in front of Planned Parenthood is not okay. And we're here to fight the power.
Troops refuse to fight. Matter of fact, they seem to say that they would rather switch than fight.
This song brings up a good point. You guys know that if Roe is overturned, it's going to birth control, Plan B, the medication abortion, gay marriage. Those are just some of the things that we're going to be losing shortly after. This fight is about way more than just reproductive rights. There's Tom.
All right, Spokane, thank you so much for being here for Spokane Bands Off Our Bodies.
Hello.
All right. When do we want it?
I gotta go back.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Terry.
Thank you all so much for being
How far
here.
away do you have to
Just got a
park?
couple housekeeping items.
Right over there.
Good.
First of
Yeah.
all,
I
please
left
do
out with the
not
parking spot.
engage in conversation or verbal exchange with any anti-abortion protesters or agitators. This is a peaceful protest. We're very thankful for our partners at the Peace and Justice Action League who brought the Peacekeepers. If you're a Peacekeeper, Ms. Vasky, wave your hands. Thank you so much.
It's okay
Also
that
want
you
to
can't
thank
be
the
here.
Spokane Community Against Racism,
You
SCAR,
care.
amazing
Do some
partners.
work behind
Check
the
out
scenes.
Burritos
It's
for
all
the
good.
People Sunday mornings at the Main Market Co-op.
Is
Thank
the
you to
sound too
Spokane
loud?
Democratic Socialists of America. We appreciate you all so much. All our partner organizations that helped us get the word out, the Spokane NAACP, the Asian Pacific Islander Coalition of Spokane, Spectrum. Thank you all so much, and many, many more. And now I'd like to hand it off to a wonderful, wonderful human, Angel Song.
Thank you. Hope. That means good day. My name is Angel Tomio Sam. I am a member of the Colville tribe. I'm also
Sorry.
descendant
Getting my
of the
tripod down.
Nakota and Quinault Indian nations. I am a lifelong resident of Spokane. And just like you, I really believe in body sovereignty. I really believe in protecting our most vulnerable. And I'm here to present a land acknowledgement that my friends at Planned Parenthood had prepared in collaboration. So I'll start by saying we acknowledge that we are on the unceded land of the Spokane people. We also provide services in a region that includes the traditional and sacred homelands of the Yakima, Palouse, Okanagan, Chelan, Wanapum, Nez Perce, Nimipu, Moses Columbia, Wenatchee, Nispelum, Walla Walla, Coeur d'Alene, Confederate tribes of the Colville Reservation and the Kalispel tribe. Spokane County is home to a vibrant Native community. There are 20,000 individuals who identify as Native American in Spokane County, all coming from and representing 325 plus tribes. We're still here. It is also important to move beyond acknowledgement and reflect on our own history that brought you, each and every one of you, to this place. We recognize that every person is responsible for understanding the history of colonization and genocide of Indigenous people. And we must commit to learning and building relationships and supporting Indigenous sovereignty, priorities, and action. This land acknowledgement is one small step. I'll call it a giant step. Everybody take one step forward. This acknowledgement is one step in an ongoing commitment for Planned Parenthood of Greater Washington and North Idaho to improve our support of Indigenous communities in the area. Bands off our bodies. Body sovereignty.
Hi everyone, my name is Lili Navarrete. I am the Director of Public Affairs and Raíz at Planned Parenthood. I am a mother of 3 and I am an immigrant who came to the U.S. in search of freedom and liberty and justice, and I found myself fighting again for that. Estoy aquí para hablar del impacto de la prohibición del aborto en Estados Unidos y el efecto que va a causar en nuestra gente latina, hispana, indígenas, nuestra comunidad de LGBTQ+, y el cuidado de transgénero. I'm here to talk about the impact of the abortion ban in the United States and the effect it's going to have on our Latino, Hispanic, Indigenous people, our LGBTQ+ community, and transgender care. 36 millones de mujeres, casi la mitad de las mujeres en edad reproductiva de 18 a 49 años en los Estados Unidos, y más personas que pueden quedar embarazadas podrían perder el acceso al aborto en breve. Actualmente, vemos que las mujeres latinas son las más afectadas porque tenemos las tasas más bajas de acceso al cuidado médico en general, así como las tasas más bajas de acceso al seguro médico, que es como podemos acceder a estos cuidados, que incluye el acceso al aborto. Lo que esto va a hacer es crear aún más barreras de las que ya enfrentamos. 36 million women, nearly half of women of reproductive age 18 to 49 years old in the United States and more who can become pregnant could soon lose access to abortion. Currently, we see that Latina women are the most affected because we have the lowest rates of access to medical care in general, as well as the lowest rates of access to health insurance, which is how we can access this care, which includes access to abortion. This ban is going to create even more barriers than we already face as Latinas. Mi pregunta es, ¿qué derecho tienen los legisladores y políticos al decirnos qué tenemos que hacer con nuestros cuerpos? My question is, what right do legislators and politicians have to tell us what to do with our bodies? ¿Qué derecho les da en decidir por nosotras cómo y cuándo tener hijos? What right does it give them to decide for us how and when to have children? Además, no tan solo estos políticos desean gobernar nuestros cuerpos, sino también quieren quitar los derechos de igualdad a la comunidad LGBTQ+. Furthermore, not only do these politicians want to rule our bodies, they also want to take away the equal rights of our LGBTQ+ community. Si dejamos que esto suceda, también van a atacar el cuidado de transgénero y la igualdad matrimonial. If we let this happen, devastated, we are furious, and we will fight back until our rights are restored and beyond. Ya se terminó la era de ser mujeres sumisas y dejar que nos controlen. Ya es hora de elevar nuestras voces y decir no más. Ya es justo que digamos no al patriarcado. Nadie tiene el derecho que decirme ni qué hacer con mi cuerpo. Con nuestro cuerpo, yo decido, es mi cuerpo y es mi decisión. The era of being submissive women and letting them control us is over. It is time to raise our voices and say no more. It is only fair that we say no to patriarchy. Nobody has the right to tell me what to do with my body, with our body. I decide. It's my body. It's my choice. We're gonna chant. The people united will never be divided. La gente unida jamás será vencida. The people united jamás never be divided. La gente unida jamás será vencida. The people united will never be divided. Gracias.
Y'all give it for Lily. Thank you so much. All right, I'm honored to introduce our next speaker. She's been a dear friend of Planned Parenthood who has stood with us for years. She's blessed 2 of our buildings in Spokane and Spokane Valley. She's volunteered to be a patient escort on days that we saw hostile protests from anti-abortion protesters. Pastor Andy Castroling from Westminster Church. Thank you, Pastor Andy.
There's a bigger crowd than my church. So let me just take a deep breath. Okay, so yeah, Paul said, I'm Andy. I'm Andy. I'm from Westminster, and I'm really trying not to have it do that. Okay. So, I'm here as a supporter of Planned Parenthood, and I'm here right now because I want to support every person who has a uterus. not to be limiting all the people who love them. Okay. So, just to let you know really quickly, I've been a supporter of Planned Parenthood since I was 15, and my Roman Catholic mother, who had 8 children, actually saw for herself what happened, the shame, the suffering, the sorrow, the illness, the death. And she posted Planned Parenthood's phone number on the family bulletin board. Yeah, go mom. So I'm standing here right now because I want to say I represent Christian women. I represent Christian leaders. I represent myself as a woman. I'm standing here and I want to say it loud and clear to anybody who's here and who's listening at all. No one has a right to try and legislate my rights over my body away. I told Paul when he said, so Andy, you want to stand up and give a little chat? And I said, yeah, can I be mad as hell? And he says, oh, please be mad as hell. Okay, so I'm here, and like you, I hope that being mad as hell means that you're awake and you're willing to do the work. It's going to be a fight. Lily's right. I'm sorry you can't hear me in the back. Can you hear me now? Call you guys. I don't know how to shout any louder. I'm just saying, we're gonna take it, and we're gonna, I was gonna say take it to the streets, but that's not legal. We're gonna fight. Are we gonna fight? For all of you, for any of you out there who call yourself a Christian, I just want to share with you the words of a Methodist colleague who put this on their church sign. Jesus trusted women. Jesus respected women. So if you call yourself a Christian, be like Jesus. In a minute. Right now it's my turn. In my faith tradition, God loves us in all our beauty and in our complexity, in all of our freedom and creativity, in all of our power and self-determination, our God-given right. So in my religion, a woman's right to make decisions over her body is a sacred right. And I'm going to stand with you and shout with you and wave with you, because the people who deny me and deny us our voice, our freedom, our autonomy, they have never spoken for me. I represent Christian women. And I represent so many leaders of faith who, in our region, are here to say, bands off our bodies. Say it with me. Say it like, you know, you're in church and you're feeling it. Bands off our bodies! Thanks.
Dixit. I'm the Public Affairs Manager for PP Gwinney, and I am so happy to be here with all of you lovely people. I'm going to stay down here because I think that is what's causing the pitch. I apologize. I am very, very short, but I am here. A lot of people believe that supporting reproductive rights is antithetical to one's faith, and we are so grateful to our various faith leaders, including Pastor Andy, for exemplifying how that is 100% not the case. You might know our next speaker from her amazing work on our Spokane School Board. She's a big supporter of reproductive freedom and a champion for equity in our community. Please give a warm welcome to Jenny Slagle, a citizen of the Yakima Nation.
Thank you. Hopefully I can project well enough. Striking down Roe v. Wade makes Native people who are able to get pregnant more vulnerable. For hundreds of years, Indigenous bodies have been controlled, hypersexualized, and violated. Some Native historians and elders have said that large families weren't the norm, but rather a response to colonization. White supremacy led to eugenics and atrocities of forced sterilization and forcibly removing Native children because of poverty, forced cultural assimilation, and genocidal practices in order to take tribal land and resources. Children ended up in foster homes and boarding schools. These are issues that Indian countries still are experiencing. The Indian Child Welfare Act is under attack just as Roe is. The U.S. is unable to fully report the extent that boarding schools have had on Native families as they continue to uncover children's bodies in school cemeteries. Laws that restrict body sovereignty contribute to the maternal health crisis in the U.S. The CDC reports that 700 people die from pregnancy and childbirth complications. Black and Indigenous mothers die at 3.2 and 2.5 times the rate than that of white mothers. Laws that restrict body sovereignty are directly perpetuating the murdered and missing Indigenous woman and people epidemic. Forcing women and people to have children is violence.
You hear that, James? C197951534.
Formed in 1977, the Women of All Red Nations declared control of your own reproduction, insisting that women must lead the education and the end of the atrocities of forced sterilization, abuse, and reproductive control. This group of women started the rematriation movement to restore the role and responsibilities of women. But what can we do today? Show up just as you have. Yes. Support Planned Parenthood.
Yes. And indie clinics.
And recognize that this is not only a health issue, but a political one that threatens the survival and sovereignty of Native peoples.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Zach, do you have a uterus?
All right, we're going to do another chant. When I say when bigots attack, you answer we fight back. When bigots attack,
we fight back.
When bigots attack,
we fight back.
When bigots attack,
we fight back.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much to our speakers so far. First, I'd like to thank some of the folks here today, some of our elected officials, our Planned Parenthood board members that are here, our CEO, Carl Eastland, in the crowd. Thank you so much, Carl. Lisa Brown, our Director of Commerce. Thank you, Lisa Brown. And most importantly, thanks to all of you. Give yourself a round of applause and get loud for all being here and continuing to show up for us. We can't do this alone. So I do have some good news to share that this Washington legislative session, we helped pass House Bill 1851, the Affirm Washington Abortion Access Act. Washington continuing to lead the way. This allows us to increase our staff capacity. It makes sure that we are codifying gender-inclusive language around abortion, and it makes sure that nobody in Washington is criminalized for their pregnancy outcome. But we need to do more. We need to increase funding for abortion providers. We need to protect patients from being extradited out of state. We know that this is the next phase of this fight. Idaho introduced a ban on trans care for youth that would have jailed a provider with a lifetime sentence for providing care. It's unforgivable. It didn't pass this session, but if you're following Idaho politics, you can be sure they're going to bring it back next year. And in Washington, we need to be ready. Yep. And don't let them tell you that abortion care is not a local issue. We know all too well in Spokane that it is. From the protests that we've seen from the so-called Church at Planned Parenthood, from a mayor's lack of enforcement against white nationalists, we know that this is a local issue for Spokane. We know that rights aren't rights without access, and decisions belong between a patient and a provider, not politicians. And for us in Spokane, we know what the crisis looks like too. Right now, 43% of our abortion appointments in Spokane Valley are from Idaho. We know that how abortion is so inaccessible for so many. We know that patients aren't just going to come from Idaho, and they're already coming from across the country. We saw a patient from Texas who first traveled to Kansas and then flew to Colorado, and eventually our affiliate was able to provide the care they needed, but this never should have happened. So we need you now more than ever to be bold. We need you to volunteer. We need you to donate at ppgwni.org, and you can come over to our action station here. We need you to share your story and be bold and be loud. We need you to contact every elected official. We need you to support the Northwest Abortion Access Fund that helps patients that are traveling from out of state. This helps cover their lodging, their transportation costs. We need you, and we thank you so much. And now it's my honor to introduce our next speakers, Carmen and Anna, a couple of medical students. We're excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Carmen, and I'm a medical student here in Spokane, and I'm really honored to be fighting here for reproductive justice with you all. And I'm excited to keep fighting this fight as a future abortion provider. So among people that can be pregnant, 1 in 4 will have an abortion by the age of 45. You are not alone. Your loved ones are not alone. 80% of the American public believe abortion should be legal. We are not alone. So I chose to go to medical school so that I could provide reproductive services, including abortion. Abortion, like birth control, like prenatal care, like miscarriage care, is health care, right? So I chose to do this job so that every time a patient comes to me, they know that they have full autonomy over their body. Because that is what medicine is: your body, your choice. And now I may not be able to do this job. Bills are passing that make my future job a felony, that make providing health care, fulfilling my responsibility as a physician, a felony. I'm sad I am frustrated, I am scared, and I'm so angry. Yeah, right? So I am angry because my patients will be forced to carry pregnancies that they don't want and or that put their bodies at risk, their lives in danger. I'm angry because this also affects more than just abortion care. Miscarriages happen to 1 in 10 pregnancies, and their treatment is often the same as abortion. Because of this, under this ban, people seeking miscarriages are also not going to be able to seek care, and without care, this can lead to fatal bleeding and infections. This is already happening in Texas. I'm also angry because people are going to be reported by healthcare providers who are supposed to protect them. I want everyone here to know that if you are pregnant and show up to an emergency department bleeding vaginally, a provider can't tell the difference between an oral medication abortion and a natural spontaneous miscarriage. However, with this ban, and in certain states, if a provider chooses to report you to the authorities, they will be able to. And we also know that healthcare providers are most likely to report pregnant patients who are Black or living on low income. This is going to disproportionately affect the lives of Black pregnant patients. I'm angry because maternal deaths are going to climb in a country that already has one of the highest maternal mortality rates. Having an abortion is much safer than childbirth. And with this ban, maternal mortality is estimated to increase by 21%. And this rate is doubled for Black pregnant people than white people. No. And this does not even include the deaths that may occur from unsafe abortions. Abortion is health care and abortion is health equity. There is nothing pro-choice about increased maternal deaths. And the states pushing to ban abortion have the highest rates of infant and maternal mortality in the country. I am angry, but I am also filled with hope by all the people here supporting healthcare today. We can change things by continuing to show up, giving money to abortion funds, voting locally to support abortion access. We have the power to make sure that here in Washington, that this state is a beacon of safety for anyone seeking an abortion from anywhere. We know these laws disproportionately impact poor people and people of color. People who can afford to travel for abortion will continue to be able to receive them. So as a community, we must ensure that there is some semblance of equity as these laws roll out across the country.
We are women and we will war!
We can support all people seeking abortion by making it known that abortion is health care. I went to medical school to be able to provide abortions, and I sure as hell won't be stopped now. Thank you.
Wow. I first just want to say that I'm so inspired seeing all of you here today. I'm also pissed that we have to be here. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm inspired seeing you all here. I'm also pissed that we have to be here fighting for this reproductive freedom that we deserve in this country. My name is Jessica McAllister. Like Carmen, I'm a medical student and a future abortion provider. Thank you. And I want to share my story with you today. I do a lot of advocacy around finding treatment options for patients with non-viable pregnancies. When I say non-viable pregnancy, I mean miscarriage, I mean ectopic pregnancy, which for those of you that don't know, is a pregnancy fertilized embryo that implants outside of the uterus. This is not a viable pregnancy. It cannot become a fully gestated baby. In this country, right now, in this state, and in this county, there are hospitals that do not provide care for patients with ectopic pregnancies. Because they claim that it violates their ethical and religious directives. ectopic pregnancy is the #1 cause of maternal mortality in this country. This country that also has the highest maternal mortality rate among all other industrialized countries. I full-heartedly agree with you. And I share this with you to make the point that anti-choice legislation is not about saving lives. It is about controlling.
Yes! So true!
And we're back.
Hold on.
Got so excited they knocked the thing out.
Can we hear me? Yes. Okay, I'm going to repeat it. Make no mistake. Anti-choice legislation is not about saving lives. It is about controlling women's bodies. Abortion is healthcare. Say it with me. Abortion is healthcare. And make no mistake, if and when Roe is overturned, our maternal mortality rate is going to go up. Pregnant patients in this country are going to die. Mothers are going to die. And I am so saddened by that as a future healthcare provider. And it's easy, I know that I have been feeling this in the past couple of weeks. It's easy to feel hopeless in this time where it feels like our bodies and our freedoms are being attacked. But I want to leave you with this message today that there is hope. You all here are so powerful. Your voice is powerful, and we have the power to affect the change that we need to see. The change that we need to see starts here today. The change that we need to see starts in the ballot box. We need to get out and vote. We need to vote for officials that will respect our autonomy, respect our freedom to reproductive choice. Change starts with sharing your stories. Your stories are powerful. Change starts with having the tough conversations with people that may or may not agree with you. Change starts with sharing your voice and sharing your story. And that's what I want to leave you here with today. Because there's one thing that I know for sure, that we cannot go back. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. And if you have questions about pregnancy, contraception, or abortion, find some of us in white coats. We would be happy to talk to you some more. Thank you.
One more medical student for you. So this is a good thing. It means that there's providers out here, hopefully. Thank you. But it's also scary. I'm Anna, and I'm a medical student here. Oh, closer? Okay. I'm Anna. I'm a medical student here, and I hope to also one day practice here. I hope to provide abortions in Spokane. When we received our white coats, we took an oath to practice medicine with compassion and thoughtfulness, to recognize that health is a human right, that all persons are entitled to non-discriminatory access to medical care, to place patient interests before our own, to respect the privacy, individuality, and autonomy of patients, and to safeguard the health of every single patient. Banning abortion inhibits our ability to fulfill these promises. Governor Inslee has asserted that Washington will remain a safe haven for those seeking abortion. As doctors and future physicians working in Eastern Washington, it's crucial that we recognize that our places of practice are the places where folks from neighboring anti-choice states are fleeing to receive abortions. As a future medical provider, I want to talk about abortion from the medical perspective. Abortion is a medical procedure. It is a common and often simple one at that. It is performed with pills or surgically. It is both safer and occurs 3 times as often as an appendectomy. The actual procedure of abortion itself is performed for a lot more reasons than many people may realize. Abortion is performed for someone who does not want to be pregnant. Yes. Abortion is performed for people who decided they are not ready to bring a child into the world. Yes. Abortion is performed for families that are complete and another child is not part of that picture. Yes. Abortion is even performed in wanted and planned pregnancies. Yes. Abortion is performed when a pregnancy miscarries and the body is unable to expel the contents safely. Abortion is performed when pregnancies implant outside of the uterus, like my friend Jess just mentioned. Abortion is performed when a pregnancy becomes non-viable. Abortion is performed to save the life of an individual in critical care. Abortion is even performed to remove malignant cancers. Abortion is not a monolithic procedure with narrow indications. However, overturning Roe is a monolithic decision with vast implications across all of the indications for abortion and across all of healthcare. I'm angry. I'm angry that despite affecting so many citizens, abortion training and education is not the standard in medical care. I'm afraid that these restrictions will lead to undertrained physicians. I'm afraid that the politicization of abortion will further limit the number of trained abortion providers and will limit the number of providers effectively trained to manage pregnancy and miscarriage. This is a travesty for all of healthcare. This is a call for providers, regardless of your specialty, regardless of your personal beliefs even, to join this fight. Yes! Abortion is essential healthcare, and regulating it harms all of healthcare. Doctors do not have to like, love, or even ever perform an abortion. That's right. A provider may actively dislike or be saddened or even feel uncomfortable by it. But as a doctor, our emotions are not more important than our patient's bodily autonomy. It is imperative that in our practice of medicine, we keep our vow to put patients' interests above our own, to set aside our personal beliefs, and to attend to the patient in front of us, holistically and with compassion. That is why we are here, because everyone deserves to have their autonomy respected, to be treated as an individual with unique needs, not with sweeping restrictions that ignore our individual circumstances. Physicians go through what feels like endless years of school to learn the complicated and beautiful interplays of the body's organ systems. We are vast highways of arteries and veins and lymph pumping and filling and draining and circulating. Understanding the body is a lifelong commitment. But I will tell you this, after only 2 years of medical school, I know one thing for sure. Events in our bodies do not occur in isolation. Our organs compensate for each other. They work as a team to support the needs of the body as a whole. And pregnancy is a massive, full-body endeavor with an impact in all of our organ systems. All doctors regardless of their specialty and beliefs, have to counsel and treat patients on the impact pregnancy has on their body. Pregnancy is not isolated to the uterus, and laws on abortion are not isolated to reproductive health. People do not have to change their views on personhood to know that bans on abortion are bans on patient-physician responsibilities. To recognize that our ability to effectively perform our jobs as healthcare providers will be limited by non-medical institutions. To recognize the responsibilities we have to our communities, to the patients we serve, and to our fellow physicians go beyond our personal beliefs. All physicians take an oath, like the one I took, an oath based on a document that is older than the Constitution itself. Abortion is a topic that can tug on emotional strings and personal religious values, and that is okay. But it is also a topic that occurs within the sphere of medicine. And any legal regulation of access is a restriction on the ability of providers to uphold our oaths. To effectively participate in the responsibilities of our profession. A profession informed by exposure to the raw edges of human experience, which is a pull quote from the original Roe decision. A profession that vowed to consider patients' wants, physical health, individual circumstances, and personal goals, to then offer our patients comprehensive options and treatments that are appropriate for their unique lived experiences and needs.
Yes!
Every provider is promised to offer this care, and every patient has a right to it.
Yes!
Bans on abortion prohibit equitable access to health care. Bans on abortion prohibit effective doctoring.
Yes.
Bans on abortion prohibit physician-patient relationships and responsibilities.
Yep.
Bans on abortion, including future ones like myself, keep us from upholding the oaths we vowed to when we received our white coats. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen, Anna, and Jess. Y'all are very inspiring to all of us. Thank you so much for sharing. The next speaker y'all are going to hear from is one of our powerful abortion storytellers. She's a professor at Whitworth University, where she also shows the intersection of faith and reproductive rights. She runs a nonprofit foundation that works to make doula care more accessible.
All right. Yep.
And she runs a business focused on providing early intervention health care to underserved families. Please give a warm welcome to Elizabeth Kiefer Kraus.
Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth, and I have had 2 safe and legal abortions. I'm also an English professor, which means that I have spent my life and career falling in love with stories because I believe that they open doors of wonder and magic and understanding to anyone who hears them. We understand other people's lives and experiences when we hear and understand their stories. And so that's what I'm bringing you today, my story. It's the story of a girl who was raised in a home with parents who would cringe at my presence here today, where pro-life politics were the core tenet of their Christian faith. I was a girl who grew up to be everything that communities of faith hope that their daughters will become. Privileged, educated, married, a university professor looking to start a family in what looked like nothing but a bright future. I had access to healthcare, to insurance, to affordable housing, to a stable career that I loved, and to a whole family of a support system. But none of that saved me from a world that completely imploded. I have been pregnant 4 times in my life. All of my pregnancies were planned and wanted, and yet in 2 of the 4, I found myself in a pregnancy that posed a real and profound risk to my life. Everything started smoothly, but well into my 2nd trimester went terribly wrong. Once I found myself examining an ultrasound of twins whose growth had stopped, brains had flooded with fluid, whose stomachs were missing, and who, for lack of a better term, lacked the ability to survive outside of the life support that my body provided to them. And so I chose, as was my right and obligation, healthcare that kept my body from looming infection and allowed my sons to pass in peace. I chose the best that I could in a terrible situation. I chose a late-term abortion. Later, I found myself once again into my 2nd trimester when a placental abruption caused me to begin hemorrhaging. In agonizing pain, I listened to my doctor tell me that I could go home if I chose, but that she didn't see a viable way for me to get back to the hospital alive. And so I chose, as was my right and obligation, the healthcare measures that would save my life, even at the expense of the fetus I carried. I chose the best I could in a terrible situation. I chose a late-term abortion. You see, when we talk about abortion as healthcare, we are not speaking in the abstract. Twice abortion care saved my life. And had I lived in a state without access to safe and legal abortion, I would have died, bleeding out in a car on the side of the road, trying to make it to a state that would help me. That's not exaggeration. It's not hyperbole. Time was not on my side. Pro-life politics were not on my side. My doctor was. My God was. And I learned how to be on my own damn side. We have seen a world where birthing people did not have full autonomy over their bodies. A world where these people had no other choice than that which was made for them by a population of politicians who were largely white and largely male. And we have seen the results that come from a world where people were denied access to abortion health care. Birthing people died in back alley botched abortions. Miscarrying women in emergency rooms were denied interventions to pass tissue. People trapped in continued poverty and domestic violence resorted to any means necessary to end a pregnancy they knew they couldn't sustain. And people like me, who were pregnant and in danger, were denied the choice for interventions that would save their lives and dignity. And we cannot go back. We will not go back. We hold that the lives of birthing people are valuable and worth protecting. We hold that all people have the God-given and constitutionally given right to safety and bodily autonomy. We hold that the choices about how our bodies are used should be made by us in consultation with the doctors who care for us. I had that kind of care when I needed it. I had supportive and competent medical providers who held up my life and choice with unending wisdom and holistic medical care, and I would not be alive today if I hadn't. I am no longer the naive girl whose life is nothing but sunshine and rainbows. Instead, my story is a testimony to the power of free choice and the life-saving care that abortion health care provides. And so I hold today, in covenant with all of you, my community, and all the birthing people who live with me, that I will continue to speak and to fight and to work for a world in which all people can choose the health care they need when they need it. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for elevating the voice of the people who give birth and who need abortion care. We will not go back.
I'm going to scan the crowd real quick. Thank you so much for all the likes.
Oh my God.
And the roses.
Wow. All right. When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
Fight back!
When abortion rights are under attack, what do we do?
Fight back!
When black lives are under attack, what do we do?
Fight back!
When indigenous lives are under attack, what do we do?
Fight back!
When Asian Pacific Islander lives are under attack, what do we do?
Fight back!
When trans lives are under attack, what do we do?
Fight back!
All right, thank you all. I'm excited to announce our next speaker. Close us out of here. Sarah Dixit.
And that David guy can fuck all the way off.
Thank you all so much for being here today and showing anti-abortion politicians that we aren't backing down from this fight.
No way!
No way. And our movement is so big and beautiful and powerful.
Yeah!
This really is an all-hands-on-deck moment, and we know all too well at Planned Parenthood that we don't stop fighting just because there are obstacles.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have anything. Abortion access, birth control, Planned Parenthood health centers, any of it, if we only fought the easy fights. We also know that this movement requires all of us to stand together on a variety of issues because this fight is intersectional. And if you come for one of us, you come for all of us. You deserve access to health care without barriers or political games. We should all have the freedom and power to control our own bodies and our own futures. Abortion is health care, and access to abortion is essential. And we will be here for you no matter what.
All right, thank you all so much. I don't know, it seems like a pretty fired up crowd. Y'all want to march? Should we march to the courthouse? The federal courthouse? All right, let's go do it.
Okay. So I guess we're marching. I gotta pack up.
You don't know me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go with other boys. And don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to say. And please, when I go out with you, don't put me under spell. You don't know me. Don't try to change me in any way. You don't know me. Don't turn me down 'cause I understand.
Thank you guys. Say hi, Paul.
Excuse, do you want to do the honors of some chants? I can give you a chant.
Okay, guys, apparently I've got to go lead chants. So, here we go. I'm going to go back on live in a second, but for now I got to get off, okay? Thank you all so very much for all the likes and the roses and for coming back in the antis. That's really helpful. Appreciate you all. I'll go live once we get down to the courthouse.